Awesome. Okay. Now we're back. Where do we leave off at? Okay, I have Manny, Quinn, and Bob are AI agents that we're going to mess around with. And we can see, I didn't name them good, but these are what they are. Okay, so to start off, where do I leave off? I'm actually going to work in Manny first. So I'm going to open up the NPC AI blueprint for Manny. Come on, there we go. And I think I mentioned there was something else that we have to do for you, because you have a animation blueprint on you. So you have, your walk and run stuff. So if I click this little folder icon to open up its animation blueprint and double click it, it'll spawn. Oh, I forgot about that hello thing. I'll have to scratch that debug command. This is what an animation blueprint will looks like if you've never seen one before. This is the event grab portion of it. And just as a quick overview, what it's doing is that it's casting to a character, trying to get its character movement component, which most characters will have this. This is what's telling it, its walk speed, or whether it's flying or swimming, whether it's using gravity, that kind of thing. A bunch of things that we can set up at a later date, but we're just using the default settings for now. And when the game is running, it's doing this kind of node block, and which it is, let's see, checking its velocity, updating its ground speed, and setting its direction, and seeing whether it should or should not be moving, particularly for, whether it's going to be in its idle states or whether it should be, running or walking. And I've actually already made the adjustment to this. So this actually looks a bit different from like a default one. And it shows us this little code right here. I'm just trying to separate it out real quick. So normally you would just have this plugged into here without these three nodes down here. And what this is doing is, if acceleration is, how do I phrase this? If the character should be moving, it's just asking or telling this variable you should move. And this is relevant for the AI portion, because I think this is partially dependent on whether we're controlling the player, but for AI, we're not controlling it. So what we're trying to avoid is like that thing in games where like a AI agent is coming towards you, but in a T-pose position, so not like animating. So what we're doing is that we are adding this three-node thing in which we are selecting between, let's see, whether it's just using ground speed or whether it's checking its acceleration for the movement component. I think this is the portion that would require us to be controlling the mannequin. So what we're doing is that we're trying to get the pawn owner, if there is an owner. So if we are controlling it, if it's player controlled, that's this little like Boolean switch that we're doing. And if we're not controlling it, just use ground speed. And if we are controlling it, then incorporate the movement acceleration. And that just determines should we move, which is a variable used in the main state kind of state machine for locomotion, and which we are, asking, should we play our idle animation or should we play the walk and run animation? But that's why I wanted to make like a difference between a skeletal mesh NPC and then whatever my other thing is, Bob, which doesn't have a skeletal mesh. Bob does not care about any of that. Bob does not animate. Bob just is. That's why the skeletal meshes, sag meshes are probably easier to do, but skeletal meshes, you get the chase and run mechanic. Although I don't think I updated its velocity to make it run at us, but it will walk us down, which is honestly a bit more terrifying in my opinion. Just a staunch, steady walk animation of solid determination. Okay. So to do its AI component, I'm gonna start off in Bob. We actually don't have to do that much for just like a basic AI. All we have to do is I want this to track the player. So I'm going to drag off from this event begin play. I'm going to type in AI move to. And this is a node that is going to either take a destination or a target actor. And I wanted to chase us, the player. We could actually have them chase each other, which would be kind of fun now that I think about it. But let me see. What did I do for my original one? I think it's pretty simple. Yeah. It's just we're going to get our player controller, so us the player. We're going to give that to the target actor, and that's it. So let me do this in Bob. From the pawn, I'll drag off and I'll get self because we want to move ourself, so we want to move Bob. And for the target actor, we just want to move the player controller. We want to chase the player controller. So let me type in player, get player controller. I think you can use character or controller for this because the character is being controlled by the controller. So it'll register as the same thing. I think it's probably better to use character, but because I use controller, I'm just going to stick with that. And for Manny, I'm going to leave him as he is, so he should not move. But the other thing that I always forget to mention is that for this to work, for the AI portion to work, what it's reliant on is if I hit the P key, and that's P on the keyboard, we have a nav mesh bounds in our level because this is the VR template. We get one by default, but if you don't have one, you can come up to this little square up here, go to volumes, and add in a nav mesh bound, and it will give you this cube-like object, which I've stretched out to cover the whole play space, which is wherever the AI can walk on. So with that all set, Bob should try to hunt us down. Quinn should hunt us down. Manny should do nothing. So let me play and see if I'm correct. Oh God, Bob is fast. Bob is really fast. Oh my God, Bob is vicious. Jesus Christ, Bob. Oh God, I'm boxed in. Oh, that is terrifying. That is so terrifying. Ha! And now he can't move. Suck it, Bob. Man, Bob is terrifying. And I broke Bob. Cool. Well, we saw that Bob worked. I think he's actually just wedged in between these two corridors. There's this brick in this wall. That was fun. That was fun and terrifying. So cool. We know Bob works, so our logic is correct. Let me open up Bob again. Bob is this one. I mentioned in the character movement, we have all these settings to control like player speed and whatnot. I forgot for my original NPC, I had that issue where Quinn just came at me like a madman, and that terrified me, so I lowered its max walk speed. Its default is 600, as we can see over here in Manny. So I'm going to put this at 300 for... Actually, I'm going to change the speed. I'm going to make Manny slow, so 200. And I'm also going to make Bob a little bit faster than Quinn, but not that vicious. I'll put him at 350. Because Bob came at me like I owed him money. And let me try again. Yeah, okay. So now Bob is a bit faster than Quinn, but he's not as hungry for me. But he does get stuck here, which is interesting. Quinn's fine, but Bob seems to have some issues he's trying to work out. Let's try one more time. I'm not sure why Bob gets stuck there. He seems fine now. I think Bob gets stuck on geometry. But this is how you would do like very simple, very basic AI. Yeah. Bob is... Maybe when Bob catches me, he thinks he's done. No, that's fine. Yeah, no, Bob was just getting stuck on geometry. So yeah. Cool. So Bob is all good. And if I do the same for Manny, if I give him the same, I can just copy this from Bobo. Place it in Manny. And now Manny will hunt us down with his own speed. I'll change accepted radius to 50. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this means like there's a radius somewhere. It says, like, you know, I've hit my target. And if we increase that... Yeah, Bob is a bit weird. He has... I'll fix Bob. Yeah, like, if it's 0, they'll kind of stop, like, inside of me. But if it's 50, they'll stop, like, a bit away from me. They'll consider that a success. So let's see if I play... Cool. And I messed up with Manny. Something's wrong with him. He's not supposed to be moonwalking towards me. But he is following me just a bit slower. So cool. That works. That's great. All of them have simple AI functionality. As to why Manny is doing the Michael Jackson, that's a... if you can see, there's like an arrow here. Manny just needs to be rotated 90 degrees. And there we go. Now... all our simple AIs hunt us down with a slow shamble of precision. Yes. There's just a bit of geometry that once they hit it over here, they just don't know what to do. That's fine. Cool. That worked. I was surprised. I got to do that from off the top of my head. Go me. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. I don't care. It's just like a bit of bad mesh pathfinding that's happening over here. But that's fine. All of them work. That's cool. And I can place them like at different points of the level and have them hunt me down. But that's simple AI all done for these 3. And next we're going to do is set up like the more advanced systems, which would be the behavior trees, mess around with the AI controller a bit more, and have a little bit of time so we can start that here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click and create my Blackboard and behavior tree. So if I hover over artificial intelligence, we can see we have the Blackboard behavior tree. I'm going to create a behavior tree. I'm going to call this BP underscore, no, that's wrong. I'm going to call this BT for behavior tree underscore NPC. 02. And I'm going to right click and create a Blackboard as well. Not that thing. A Blackboard. Blackboard. BB for Blackboard. NPC underscore 02. And if I open up my Blackboard, we can see over here, Blackboards and behavior trees are kind of connected. Essentially what the Blackboard is doing is that it's a holder of like keys that we can access in the behavior tree. And if you only have one Blackboard and one behavior tree, it'll try to match them up. Because I have one already, it gave me my other one. So I'm just going to switch this to the one I just made to match up, you know, BT NPC02 with BB NPC02. So just making sure that the Blackboard and behavior tree are lined up together. And we see with the default Blackboard, all we have is a self actor, so only one key. And what we're going to do is that we're going to add a target actor key, which will be us. So it's going to tell the behavior tree when to hunt us down. And I mentioned this in class, but Blackboards or behavior trees are pretty simple. If I drag off, we can see we have a few different selectors here. I click a selector. It's like a kind of like a, well, it's a whole tree structure, but this is kind of deciding whether it's going to go to its left branch or to its right branch. And I think normally by default, it should go leftmost first. So it'll try to go this way, complete whatever's down here. When that's done, it'll then go back up and go down its next, its rightmost branch. But I will continue this in the next video because I'm running out of time, and I'll see you guys really shortly.